Hello and welcome. Happy Thursday. Hope you are having a fantastic week. We are talking all about social media for affiliate today. So, we have spent the last couple of weeks talking more about bloggers. Specifically, we've talked SEO, we've talked branding, which was actually for both. But today we're going more to the social media side. So, whether you are someone who does not have a blog at all, or if you are someone who has a blog but is using social media to either amplify that blog, or you also want to be running campaigns and making an income from your social media, then this is going to be the video for you. All right. So, hi. If you do not know me, my name is Lindsay Kometz. I am the managing director here at Apogee Agency and have been for about 4 years now. But if you don't know this, that I was actually in your shoes not that long ago. I sold my blog in 2021, but prior to that, I was a full-time blogger and influencer. I say that I'm too old to call myself an influencer, but those of us that are OGs and have been around a while, we certainly paved the way for what is now influencer marketing. So I've worked with brands. I was a part of an ad network. I had my own products. I went on trips. I did product reviews. I was an affiliate. I did all the things. So just know that when I'm saying these things, it is with experience and love and a desire to help you do what I did, because it was an amazing part of my life and journey, and very lucrative. And so if there's anything that I say on this call that may ruffle some feathers, just know it is coming from a very authentic place, because I have been there and done that. Okay. So social media, this wasn't even a thing a couple of years ago, right? Like, it's just exploded. When I first started blogging in the early 2000s, I think it was just Facebook. Pinterest came along, and there have been some that have come and gone, but some that have definitely stuck around and are going to be sticking around for a very long time, regardless of your thoughts on Facebook. A couple years ago, when they started making it where you could log in and integrate with all of these different sites, that was really kind of the first iteration of them solidifying themselves into society as something that's probably not ever going anywhere, right? So if you look at the statistics, this says that there is 5.17 billion total social media users worldwide, that the average person uses 6.7 different social networks per month. We're going to talk about that in a second. And the average time internet users spend on social media declined a little bit, but declined to an hour and a half a day, or two, I didn't math that right, 2.5 hours per day. So this is why social media is so huge. This is why it is such an amazing opportunity, but it is also why it's not going anywhere. And so those of us who maybe were the OG bloggers, and we kind of missed the days where we would write and people would come and visit and we would have these conversations on our blogs, it's kind of shifted, right? And that's one thing about this industry, is that it is constantly shifting and constantly evolving. And so social media and everything that I say today is not going to be any exception to that. It is another evolution. And when I get to TikTok, that has changed literally even just this week. So we'll get there in just a few minutes. I found an article that I'm going to share in the Facebook group that I found, like, the numbers were mind blowing, but I want to go through a few of these statistics here. And I'm going to have to put my glasses on because that is very small on my screen. But when you look at affiliate marketing, where social media is not concerned, but where it kind of intersects, 75% use Facebook, 62% use Instagram, 42% use Pinterest, 36% YouTube, 30, I think that's a 1% Twitter, now X, 29% TikTok, 29%, nope, 19% LinkedIn. So what I want you to take from that is, no matter what platform you feel at home, you can make money with affiliate marketing. And so we're going to talk a little bit later about all of the opportunities in all of these different platforms. But I want you to think about, where do you feel at home the most? Because that is where you are going to do your best work. And I am of the belief that you should have really one of them that you focus on. And I'm going to talk more about why that is. Back in the day, bloggers, we had this pressure to join everything, and there's still, anytime something new comes out, there is like a collective groan of, I don't want to have to learn something new or create something new or change something. Why can't we all have vertical or horizontal video? Or why do we have to? And the thing is, I want you to not think of it that way. I think it was when Threads came out that, I mean, a full on collective groan. Find the one that you feel the most at home, because each one of them has a little bit of a different vibe, and you need to find the vibe where you're going to find your tribe. Okay. Yes, that was a little bit of a rhyme. Came up with that on my own. All right. So the other one that I wanted to look at here is that the last one is, or third to the last, is 85% of affiliate marketers who use social media to drive traffic have less than 10,000 followers. So that is something that is really important as well, because I hear a lot, I don't have enough I don't have followers, I'm trying to grow my followers, I need to get new followers, how do I get new followers? And I'm going to debunk that, because I want you to totally get rid of that as well. Brands are changing, PR is changing. The number of followers that you have is virtually irrelevant these days. I gotta tell you, it's almost irrelevant, because brands are starting to understand what matters more than follower count. We're going to be talking about that a little bit as well. Some other quick statistics here that I wanted you to look at. This is kind of like consumer behavior, how people are interacting with this social media when it comes to affiliate. But the ones that I want you to look at is 88% of consumers have been inspired to buy something from an influencer. That's social media. And then 64% of consumers prefer video when interacting with influencer content. So I know that a lot of people shy away from video. I am one of them, which is funny that I'm doing this on video and saying that. But when it comes to social media, there seems to be a mental block for a lot of people from getting on video. And we just have to kind of push through that, because the numbers do not lie. That is what people are looking for. And in my research and in the data that we have from our own clients, it's the video that's doing the conversions. It's people talking to the screen, talking to the phone, talking to the whatever, the exact same way that I am with you right now, that is making all of those conversions. Or 80, what is it? However many percent. I have the slide changer is over my stuff here. So when it comes to being a content creator, and I talk about this in the ebook that I wrote, creating converting content, is that the business model that you choose to have as a content creator is kind of the first step in how you decide you're going to present your content. We've talked about figuring out who your audience is, and we've talked about who it is you need to specifically create for, but I want to transfer a little bit into what you feel comfortable doing and what you can realistically create every day, every single day. So there are the forward facing, showing up on the screen, talking to people, creating a kind of persona around you and what you love, and people will come to follow you. That's the influencer kind of style. And then there's a more of a behind the scenes business plan. And this is people who double down on SEO. We're going to be talking about Pinterest. So that's how how this comes in. But it's not quite as me. These are two completely different models. Okay. And you have to really decide which one you are going to lean into, because your strategy and how you create content is going to be different based on that. For the most part, social media is going to be our forward facing influencer side, because that is, and you saw it on that last slide, that is what converts. So that is what I'm going to be talking about 99% of today. But the writer, the blogger, the SEO, the Pinterest, that is kind of the other side. So I wanted to make sure it was in there. But before you do anything, decide which one of these you are most comfortable being. All right. So here's the biggest change that we have seen on this side working with brands. And this is for affiliate, but this is also sponsored content with what brands are looking for. And that metric is engagement. You know that word was coming. I say it in every call because it is that important. There is nothing more important at this point. And the reason why is because the type of content you create, or the niche that you are in, there is always going to be an audience for you, no matter what it is. But you've got to have the engagement from that audience for it to matter. So engage, it does not matter what platform you are on, or if you are blogging, your engagement may be traffic. If you are doing email marketing, then your engagement is opens and click-throughs. And if you're on social media, the engagement is those likes, those follows, those comments, those saves, those shares, all of that kind of good stuff, right? Okay, so let's talk about why it is so important. So these are 4 real life examples. I do not have who it is, but these are some real life examples. I'm just double checking that I collect the words out. So here is a creator. This first one has 10,000 followers, but a 0.3% engagement rate, which means on average, everything that he or she posts gets 30 people to see it. Okay. Here is someone with 49,000 followers. This is that number that no longer counts, right? Has a 0.2%, which means even though he or she has almost 50,000 followers, 100 people see it. Okay, now let's look at this one. Here's somebody with 11,000 followers, but a 2% engagement rate. This person with a fifth of the number of followers gets twice as many views. And then over here, you can see someone that's comparable. This one has 47,000 and a 2% has over 1,100. So when we say engagement is king, and this is what matters, because whether you are trying to sell products to these people and an affiliate, whether you are pitching a brand who wants to pay you for your audience or whatever, this is the numbers that are now being seen. So if you have 10,000 followers and a 0.3 engagement rating, you're getting 30 people. So even though you have 10,000 followers, what is a realistic, reasonable rate that a brand should pay for 30 people? That's the ugly truth. And that's why I said, I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I'm not meaning to, but I want you to really embrace this. And when we get these emails that say, my rate is $2,500 for a reel or whatever, and we're looking at these numbers where I cannot tell a brand to pay that when only 100 people are going to see it. Okay. So this is the part that you need to understand. It's icky. It's not, nobody likes this part, but it's the truth. Okay. And it's the side of social media that everybody really needs to understand. I was one of the know your worth champions, but this kind of gives a little bit of a different side to that, right? Okay, so that's the bad news. Now let's start talking about the good stuff. All right, so algorithms, and people are like, Lindsay, I've tried. Let's talk about how the algorithm works, and then I want you to be really, really honest with yourself here on if you are feeding the algorithm. I want you to think of the social media site that you are going to focus on: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest, whatever it is. Are you feeding it? Think of it as a living, breathing pet or plant or whatever. It is something that needs to be fed. That is how an algorithm works. So you create content. This is this beautiful woman. She's creating content for social media. Once you hit publish, it is going to show it to a select number of people that are currently following you. So if you've got 10,000 followers, they're going to show it to, 5 or whatever. Here we go. What those people do, what that select group of people do with it is what happens next. If they love it, they like it, they love it, they save it, then they're going to show it to more. That is what makes it viral. And then this group of people, if they like it, they love it, they share it, they save it, it goes to more and more and more and more and more. And suddenly you have virality because everybody is sharing it, everybody is loving it, everybody. Why is this the case? Because you need to understand and remember that the platform that you are publishing on is also a business. And their job is to keep as many people on their platform as possible. Because they're the people that are advertising on their sites and whatever, they're charging them based on how many people are staying on their site. So the algorithm is designed to keep people sucked in. Have you ever all of a sudden lost 3 hours to Instagram Reels or to TikTok? I remember feeling like I could lose an entire day on Pinterest when it first came out. Anybody else do that? I would pin 142 things, recipes I was never going to cook, exercise I never had time to ever do, home improvement for houses that didn't even look like mine, but I loved it and I would spend so much time pinning. That was the algorithm, and it would just show me more and more and more and more. Okay. What happens though if that group of people doesn't do much? You get like 1 like, maybe 2 likes. Well, they're going to show it to a couple more people. Like there's generally a second layer because they're kind of giving you the benefit of the doubt that maybe those first 5 were kind of like, meh. They're going to show it to a couple more people. But if those people don't do anything, it falls completely out of the algorithm. The activity that the first group of people do, the actual activity, what they do, is telling that algorithm, that platform, whether this content is good enough to keep people tuned in or not. And if it's not, they're going to drop it out of the algorithm and make room for stuff that is, because their goal, again, is to keep you on that platform as long as they possibly can. So if you're scrolling and you're not finding anything that just kind of catches your jive, you'll jump off of it, right? You'll close down Instagram and go to Facebook, or close down and go do something else. It's when we get kind of bored that we click off. So their job is to make sure that their users don't get bored. And the algorithm does that based on how people actually interact with it. Okay. So what has also happened in the last couple of years is every platform, they're all vying for more time, more users. Like there's only so many hours in the day that the average person can spend online on social media, right? And so they're all vying for that same kind of airtime. So they've created all of these different tools to try to keep people plugged in. But on our side, as the creators, these are more tools that we have to reach more audiences, to connect with those audiences, and of course, to have an opportunity to sell, whether that is affiliate, your own product, sponsored content, what have you. So with Facebook, you have a page. You are not supposed to advertise anything on your personal profile. Do people do it? Yes. Is it in the terms of service that you are not supposed to? Also, yes. At your own risk kind of thing, guys, at this point. But to advertise on a page, Facebook has stories and reels, just like Instagram and live, and then also Facebook groups. I want you to know that Facebook groups are hugely lucrative in affiliate marketing. And we have a creator that just joined 2 weeks ago. She's already done $8,000 in one of our programs from a Facebook group. Now, she has a very engaged Facebook group. The entire Facebook group is designed to shop. It's an Amazon deals group. And she is signed up with Levanta. And all she does in that entire group is just post Amazon deals all day long. It's a business plan. It's what she does. She doesn't show her face. She doesn't, I mean, other than her little icon of who she is, just posts deals that she finds on Amazon all day long and makes a significant amount of money from that. Niche groups can be very, very, very lucrative. They do take a lot of time to grow, but can, again, be very, very lucrative. Instagram, my personal favorite. I think that Instagram is where you can build the most dedicated audience and really feel like a community. I have felt that way for years, by the way. So maybe it's just because that is where I feel at home. So that's where I like to be the most. But you have your feed posts, static and carousel. You have stories, 24 hours, reels, live, and then also you have highlights. So highlights are something that is often overlooked on Instagram, but those can be really, really, really lucrative when you have different categories in your niche. Like I have one that is all solar lights from my garden, because that's one of the things that I talk about. You've heard me talk about it on here. All solar lights. And so every time I share something solar light and it has an affiliate link and a disclosure, it goes into that highlight. And so when I am showing it later, I can say, check my highlights for all of my solar lights, and you can see them all in one place. So highlights are a big, big, big one for affiliate. All right, YouTube. YouTube is fantastic for long form video. You can monetize that long form video if you have the right amount of airtime. Which means running ads throughout, but you can also add links. You've got that nice long description that you can put all kinds of links in there, and you can really truly show yourself using the product. You can do an unboxing, setup, all of that kind of stuff. People are looking for what the experience is. When you unbox something, you're showing what all is in the box. Have you ever ordered something and it didn't have the right charger? I can't tell you how many things I've ordered recently that it has a USB plug, but not the actual block, not the actual charger thing. And so people are looking to see, does it have that in the box? Or is it packaged well? Or how many of something? Or how large is something? I recently purchased, you can see him right there. I recently purchased that as a disco bowl humidifier for my plants. But I saw it on Amazon, but I couldn't figure out the actual size. Even though it had the measurements, it didn't make sense to me. I hopped over to YouTube and found somebody that had the exact same thing, and I realized it was the perfect size and exactly what I wanted. This YouTube made that sale. The girl on YouTube made that sale because she made the video about it. I saw it originally in a reel on Instagram. And then I went over to Amazon, and then I was like, what size do I need? I went to YouTube. She had it, linked it, boom. Okay, also shorts. So YouTube shorts are very similar to reels. Same thing, they are searchable on the app. And I have some friends that say that they are watching shorts in lieu of watching TikTok. They don't watch TikTok, they watch shorts. Okay, to each their own. And then similar to highlights, YouTube has playlists. So this is very, very, what is the word I'm looking for? It's a big opportunity to create entire kind of series that people will follow. So I can do a sourdough series. I can do a seedlings series. Playlist is what I'm looking for. Things like that, which are within my niche, drying herbs or home renovation. And you can kind of guide through, and then each one of those videos is its own kind of standalone thing. So think about what in your niche can do steps. If you're a food blogger, maybe it is how to cook like Easter is coming up, the whole Easter meal. What are all the things going into Easter meal? Or a collection of Mardi Gras recipes or Thanksgiving recipes or vegan recipes or something along those lines. It could kind of be like a subcategory of everything that you have in one place with those playlists. I would do the exact same thing on Instagram highlights. Okay, TikTok. I know that TikTok is in the news right now and everybody has a different opinion and there's a lot of confusion. I too am confused. Yesterday I was convinced I was going to get rid of it. Today I'm not so sure. I have not decided yet. But until things change, TikTok has short form video. They are who made short form video what it is today. That 7-second kind of clip became huge on TikTok. They also have collections, which is very similar to the playlist or the highlight. And you can reference, I've got a collection about that. I've got a collection about that. People tap over to the bio and you can see the collections. And then TikTok also has stories that disappear in 24 hours, the same way Instagram and Facebook stories do as well. I don't see them as much if you are just kind of on the FYP, but they are there and can be, if you're attending an event or something along those lines, they can be very beneficial kind of in that time. Okay. Oh, and Pinterest, that's right. So Pinterest also has boards, so you can SEO and have everything in a specific board. They have static pins, video pins, and idea pins. I don't know if I did not. So I'm going to drop in our Facebook group, and I'll put it on YouTube here as well, the actual rules directly from Pinterest about affiliate marketing. I should have done a slide for it. I meant to, but basically they just say, as long as it is your content and you're not just pinning a bunch of stock photos, that you can pin and use Pinterest for affiliate in their best practices kind of way. It's not creating a whole bunch of boards and using the same image over and over and putting 75 different SEO type of keywords with it, whatever. It's going to boil down to that it's actually good content, pictures that you have, that you created. And it can be the kind of storyboard, but not just the same stock image over and over and over again. But you can link directly. You need to have a disclosure. Again, I will put Pinterest rules directly from the Pinterest creators so that you have that and know exactly what the rules are around that, because they've gone back and forth. Okay, they've gone back and forth. You could pin affiliate and then you couldn't pin affiliate, and now they've made it where you can pin affiliate, but they have rules about it. So I'll make sure you get those. So the big question is, how often do I need to post? And this is the part, this kind of goes back to the icky side, or engagement. So if you remember our engagement piece slide, the reason why that engagement is probably low on some of those bigger accounts has to do with how often it is needed to post. And the other reason why I say you need to choose one that you really lean into is because all of them have some pretty high requirements for what is their best practice. Again, remember, each one of these platforms is a business, and their goal, their job, their business plan relies on keeping people on their app. So when it comes to like Facebook, for instance, when you look at best practices for 2024 for a Facebook page, it is updating 10 to 12 times per day, every day, 7 days a week. That's a lot, right? Instagram, it is posting to your feed 2 to 5 times a week, every week. It is daily stories, 10 to 12 daily stories. Now that's only 2 to 3 minutes, but still it's remembering to do them 7 days a week. Reels, 2 to 3 per week, live every week. That sounds like a full-time job, right? It is. It is, because those platforms, again, they are wanting people who are highly engaged themselves. You have to be highly engaged in the app as a creator in order to get that engagement back from its users. It is a give and take with these platforms. And I think what happens, and I have been guilty of this as well, is the kind of dump and run. You post something, you may spend time putting it all together, you may whatever, you come up with a great caption, you may spend a few minutes beforehand talking to people on the app, you may spend a few minutes after, but for the most part, you dump it and run. That is not how these apps are going to reward you with engagement. So, but you can't not dump and run if you're trying to manage all of them. If you're trying to manage a presence on 5 or 6 platforms, even if it's the same content that you're posting all these different places, you still just kind of dump and run. So you need to find the one that you feel the most at home, and then just lean into it, and then use everything that it has to offer. If it's going to be Instagram, again, which is my favorite, Use it all. Daily stories, reels every day, couple of days, the feed, carousels, live, all of it. Use all of it and let that be what you focus on. And then put blinders on to the rest. Don't even look at the rest. Because when you get that big, big engaged audience on Instagram, that becomes the job, right? You don't have to be, I'm on Instagram and I'm on TikTok and I'm on Facebook and I'm on Pinterest and I'm on X, whatever letter that thing is going by now. It's, I'm on Instagram, and brands and your audience, and they're going to come to know and like and trust and buy from you because they know exactly where to find you, what they can, and they will look forward to that. Think about the people that you interact with as a consumer on Instagram or on TikTok or on whatever. Think about the last thing you purchased from someone on social media. Was it somebody that you follow often, or was it a reel that you saw that was really good that had a call to action, the show? Think about how you take that as a consumer. Okay. So yeah, the answer is a lot. A content calendar is a lot. Okay. I'm gonna run out of time. Okay, so my favorite tools. You think, oh my gosh, how does one person manage all of this? Well, I'm a big fan of having the right tools in place. Every occupation has tools, and this is not going to be any different. So a couple of my favorites, later.com is social media planning. It handles Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, X, Twitter, and YouTube. That does not mean you still need to be on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, X, Twitter, and YouTube. I have X and Twitter on there, whatever. I only use Later for Instagram, period. It is worth it just to handle Instagram. If you want it for Pinterest or whatever, let it just handle that. Just because it does do all does not mean you need to do all. Okay. Genius Link. I'm excited about this one, you guys. And I think this one goes a long way with affiliate. If you have ever clicked on an Amazon link and it routed you to your browser that made you have to log into Amazon, a lot of sales are lost that way because people then open their app, right? They go from the browser, they open their app. Well, that cookie doesn't transfer unless you're using something like Genius Link. And so Genius Link has a very, very low cost. I'm so excited about it, by the way. I'm going to have them come and talk to us here in the group, but it's a very low cost. If you've ever clicked on an Amazon link and it opened the app, actually launched the app, that's this mobile deep linking that they offer. I'm very, very excited about that. I'm using it as a user, not just as, promoting it as the agency. Another one that I use and love is ManyChat. So if you have seen Comment, I think we have one that's Comment Planner or Comment Tracker, and get a download. That sends the, whatever the keyword that you set, it automatically sends that user a DM of whatever it is. So this is fantastic for if you are, sharing about something that you love. You can actually use a Genius Link to have them go to Amazon. It DMs them that link. Or you can do a download. They can open join your email list, all of that kind of stuff. There's all kinds of things that ManyChat does. And I think it starts at like $15 a month. Genius Link starts at $6 a month. ManyChat is like $15 a month. And I can tell you, as a consumer, ManyChat works so well. I can't tell you how many things I have in my inbox, or how many things I've purchased. Another tool that I love is CapCut. I do use the paid version of CapCut. I think it's $20 a month. The video editing is amazing, but what is also amazing is their templates. They have trending templates. So if you see things that are going viral, if it says use template, you can open it right there, plug your pictures or your videos in, and it recreates it, has the music and everything. I love it. I also have the desktop app, which is part of that pro plan, and it is almost like maybe better than iMovie. It's a lot more intuitive, but if you are a Windows person, maybe I don't know what, I'm a Mac girl, so I don't know what Windows video editing, iMovie's always been my thing, but I actually like CapCut more. A couple more, Linktree. So later.com does have their link in bio. If you don't use Later and you want to use something else, Linktree gives you a landing page of links with a shareable URL. So you can put that link in your Instagram bio, in your TikTok bio. You can put it at the top of all your YouTube videos. You can have it in your about on your Facebook page. You can have it in a pinned post on your Facebook group. Like, you can put it anywhere. And it creates a landing page of all of your best links, gives you all of the data for them so you can have all the insights and everything. Linktree, I am pretty sure there's a free version, and I think I might be paying $6 a month for that one also. But again, if you are using all of these tools the way that you should be, they should more than pay for themselves. So they should be a business expense that you are making far more money from than you're worried about spending. Okay, Pretty Links. This one does require a WordPress or a blog. I think they can use Squarespace. I'm not sure. I'm very pro WordPress. But Pretty Links, if you have a WordPress, Pretty Links will let you create a pretty link that is shortened, that is easier to share on social or to say in a video. You cannot do that with Amazon links. Just they have a video that says you can, but I think unless it's changed, which it may have, Amazon doesn't want you because they consider that cloaking. But you can do it with ShareASale, Impact, CJ, Pepperjam, Most Direct Refersion, and take it from, instead of this long Impact link or long ShareASale link, it could say yourdomain.com/discoball or whatever. PicTapGo is my favorite photo editing app. If you are someone who has tried to use Photoshop, the app on your phone, and you've got all these presets and stuff like that, PicTapGo has something like 200 presets. It's so very easy. It lets you slide things around. It is not nearly as robust as Photoshop, of course, but sometimes all you need is just a nice little filter on it or to brighten things up. The one that I use the most is actually called Lights On, which just brightens up everything. And then the contrast, which kind of makes the colors pop. It's really it. But that is a fantastic app. I do think there is a one-time payment, but it's not a monthly. And then, of course, one cannot talk about anything online without talking about Canva, the absolute powerhouse, most robust editing tool around. We love Canva. Absolutely love Canva. All right, so some fundamental truths about social media content, getting that engagement up, getting that audience really there. The first thing is your content has got to be engaging. You've got to get their attention quickly and keep it throughout the length of the content. So the average adult's attention span is 30 minutes. We're at 38 minutes here. The number was up. It's coming down. I know. I'm trying to get through it. But these videos, the reason why the 7-second thing was so popular is our attention spans are getting even shorter. That 30 minutes, probably a little bit generous for a lot of people right now. So break your content up. But that's another reason why stories are great, why highlights are great, why collections are great. Break stuff up. You don't need to have 45 tips in one video like this one. But what I'm going to do is actually break this up for our social media into little bits. So think about your content. What can you break up to keep every single tidbit engaging? Next one is entertaining. People like it funny. You either got to make it funny or super educational. What can you teach me or show me that I want to learn or that I haven't seen before, like a little humidifier that's a disco ball? Because that's how you create the desire for somebody to purchase. And then the last thing is save or share worthy. Remember, before you hit publish, is this something that if I showed it to 5 people who don't know me, are they going to want their friends to see it? It's not what your friend, because your friends are probably going to love everything you do. But are 5 strangers going to love what you do? And are they going to want their friends to see what you do? Every piece of content that you put out needs to be save and share worthy. Is it a lot of pressure? Yes, it is. But every job has pressure. And we got to just lean into it. That is the business that we are in. By the way, that algorithm is alive and well on your own personal profile as well. So if you go weeks without updating your profile and you say something and nobody comments, it's probably because not many people actually see it. It's not that all your friends are ignoring you or don't like you anymore or anything like that. Probably don't even see it. I had a family member get upset. They're like, you never comment on anything that I post anymore. And I'm like, I haven't seen your content in months. I just figured you weren't on Facebook. So, little sidebar. At the end of the day, the one thing that nobody else has is you. And you are what sets yourself apart. So everybody is up against the same algorithm. You can have 100,000 people in the same affiliate program, or we've got, what was it, 74 million people on Instagram we talked about last week. But what they don't have is you. And what they can't recreate is you. And what makes it different is you. How do you present it? How do you connect with your audience? That is the one thing that nobody can take away, that nobody can alter, that nobody can replicate, even though people try with those cloned accounts, right? But nothing, nothing, nothing can replace you. So just lean in, become friends, think of your audience as your people. One of my most favorite trends right now is happening on Instagram, and it says, yes, I may only have 100 followers, but if 100 people came to my door to talk to me about what I love, which is what they were, what they're sharing, that would make my day. And I want you to think about that. If you can find 100 people that just love what you do, you're doing better. Remember the engagement thing that I had? If you can find 100 people that love what you do and are happy about what you do and engaging what you do, you're already doing better than a lot of creators that have those really, really big followings. All right. Phew. All right. I did go over time. I always do, but I want to bring as much value as I can to these videos. So thank you for watching. If you are watching the replay, if you have any questions, you can leave them for me, or as always, you can email me directly. If you would like an audit of either your blog or even your social media, those engagement photos that I had, I can pull yours with the software that we use, and I can tell you exactly what the engagement looks like. And this is what brands are seeing as well as our agency. And we can talk about some ways to really up your engagement, because again, it is not about follower count. It is about getting that engagement up. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll see you next week.